Good morning. It is 42 minutes after 8 o'clock. And, of course, Amy McVay-Tellez back with us here from the Historical Society in studio. And joining us on the phone, we have a special guest for you, author Eide S. Nevets. Good morning. How are you doing today, Eide?
I am fine, thank you. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Well, thank you for spending a few minutes with us here, and we do appreciate an opportunity to chat with you. She's going to be out at the Historic Book Fair on Saturday, out at the Historical Society. Get there early, 10 a.m. She's going to be there signing books as part of this, and you get the chance to chat. That's why I love author signings, because you really get the chance to talk with the mind behind the story that you're just reading or about to read, and so you always get your own interpretations. But sometimes you when you get the author saying, well, I was kind of it kind of adds another layer of it too. So I encourage folks to come on out and meet the author, get the book signed, everything else. And I imagine you as an author, when you share a story and then you got people loving and telling their own interpretations of the story, I imagine that kind of fuels your fire a little bit too.
Actually, what really surprises me is which characters people relate to.
Okay. Like you thought it'd be one way and they went just a complete different direction on you.
Right. I mean, everybody has different things that they love about different stories, and they all have different experiences in their lives. It's just funny to me to see people connect to the subset of characters.
Yeah.
Not always the main character.
Yeah. So tell us a little about this book that you're going to be signing and is going to have available for folks to get.
Well, I actually have several books.
Okay. So you'll have the catalog there? Perfect.
What I'm bringing is The Knot, that's with a K, in time travel.
Okay.
That's the first book in a time travel trilogy, and I will have the second and third books with me as well.
Oh, very cool. So, and that's my favorite part of being as I like to read books and things, and series books are always the best because as a reader, you get kind of sad when you're at the end of a book,
letdown.
Even though the story's great and you love the happy or whatever the ending is, but you're kind of bummed that you're out of story. And then with a series, you're like, the next in the story continues. So it feels like the journey never ends. I love those series. That's great.
So besides that, if you attach to any of the characters, then you get to find out what they're doing later.
That's true. That's true. And I imagine as an author, that's fun for you because now you got to plot out a life. You know what I mean? Where as one, it's a story, and I'm sure you fill in and bill in and create your own universe to kind of make the story work. But with a trilogy or with a series, you've got to now you got to play it all out and see where it goes. So that's got to be fun as an author to write too, I would imagine.
Well, for me, it's a lot of fun. I absolutely love writing. That's what I live for. It's what I breathe for.
Good deal. So,
how long have you been writing?
Basically, since COVID hit.
Okay.
See, that's fascinating.
So this is something you've taken up as since you couldn't go nowhere.
See, that's a prime example. I want thank you for that's what we've done at the Historical Society, and again, we're just blessed to be a part of this magnificent talent treasure. But there is good in all things, Mike.
Yeah.
See, this is a perfect example of what magnificent piece, work of art, in the author come alive.
What I think is really cool is because I imagine there's a lot of people that say, "Hey, I'd love to write a book," But then what do you do next? All right, I love to write a book. Then you sit down in front of a piece of paper and like, what do I do now? I don't know. Start type but you said no. I'm gonna and you execute. Yeah, I mean that's to me that's awesome. Great to see that. And so I gotta ask, since you've taken up here in the last couple of years, what is it all just you just going, or did you get a lot of research and references and things? How did this journey start for you, or did you just sit down in front of a screen and said, "I'm going to start typing stuff," and away it went? How does that happen?
Well, I think basically because I've been in the corporate world trying to make a living.
Okay.
I have just been working to stay afloat, like most people might.
Sure.
And I've had these ideas gelling in my head for, years.
Okay.
And then I've never really had the time, strength, energy, opportunity to sit down and write any of that. And then I was doing like everyone else, the shutdown and stuff that actually extended itself. I read every book I could get my hands on. Then it got a little more difficult to get books from the library, and it was harder and harder to order books. And I was reading everything I could read because that's what I love to do. And then when I ran out of money to buy books, I started writing them just to have something to do.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
It occurred to me by a friend of mine actually said to me, you know what, you should actually write that. And I went, oh,
Not a bad idea. So once you sat down to write, did it flow easy or was it a struggle?
Actually, it flowed pretty easily. The first book came out in less than a month.
Okay.
The trilogy took me a little longer. That's 3 books, so it took me a bit longer. And the first book of the trilogy actually became available in only April of this year.
Okay.
And the second one became available in May, and the third one in June. And I've been selling just about 1 book a day.
Nice.
So
That's
that's
great.
not bad for a new author.
Yeah.
And been there since April, and I'm very pleased about that. I
Absolutely.
think people enjoy time travel.
Yeah.
And this is the second part of your question, the research that I needed to do. If you're jumping around in time, how do you know where you are when you get there?
Is there a directory or something? Yeah.
If you pop into some small town somewhere, unless they have a newspaper with the date on it, which is kind of,
Yeah.
plausible, how do you know where and when you are? So I had to do some research and find out what things were in the timeline of history where I had them jumping from and to.
Okay.
So I could introduce technology that became available then or something. So just so you would know if you were there. And it's really quite fun, actually. I really enjoyed researching it and finding out things. It's stuff that we have taken for granted for years, and now we call it something new, and it used to be called something else. And it's just, where did they get things that they used to make other things when it was then versus when it is now? And it's just absolutely fascinating to me. The research was great. I have like a very long, I almost could write a book about the research.
Well, it makes you an expert on a lot of things, doesn't it? When you have to do the research for it.
I don't know about expert, but it's definitely fascinating.
Yeah. I'd imagine, like you kind of, so really an author, it almost has to be a bit of a history excavator, buff a little bit, because if you want to make a book of any substance, you got to do your research to make it plausible, to make it a story that people can embrace and like and want to carry on that journey with them. But if you make it full of the details so wrong or so off, people aren't going to fall in love or be able to relate to the story. So you got to get it right, or so people will want to hear the rest of the story.
And it's much more believable.
Yeah. It makes it easier to immerse yourself into it, to say, okay, I can see where this person might be in this scenario, and that's great. That's amazing. And I imagine for you to learn and to do this right out the gate, because I imagine there's people that probably spend a lot of time writing before they learn that lesson. You know what I mean? Like you're learning it, on the fly here, where some people like, okay, I messed that up 3 times before I figure, that's the ticket, how they make it, sing. And so that's great that you're doing that. So now, obviously, folks, we'd love to have you come out Saturday. You can get a book signing, meet and talk with Eide, and you can get copies of her books. But if they're not available to come visit on Saturday, how can they get a book, or say they can't wait till Saturday and they want to get one in their hands today? What's the best way to do that?
All of my books are available on Amazon.com.
Okay.
There you go.
Very good. And they can just look under your name?
Under my name, yes. It's a difficult name. It's Eide, and middle initial S, and last name Nevets, Nevets.
And what's the title of the first book in the series that we'll start them in the beginning here?
The first book is called The Knot in Time Travel. Knot is spelled with a K.
Yes. Knot. Yeah. Very
Yes,
good.
and it is book one of an Old West trilogy.
Very good. So I know we talked about time travel, but real quickly, just give like a brief like synopsis of the characters in the story and just enough to whet some appetites here.
Well, looking up, Jedediah could no longer see any stars, or sky for that matter. It seemed to be very dark all of a sudden. He stood up and bumped his head on something. It was soft, some type of cloth. What would that be doing out here in the tree? One hand was still on the dark spot on the tree. He reached out with his other hand and found a door latch. A door latch? He pressed the thumb notch and a door opened. Daylight shone on him. He seemed to be in a tiny room, barely big enough for him to stand in. There was a horizontal pole with a bunch of short red jackets hanging on it. Huh. What the heck did he do?
That's so.
That's amazing. I can't wait to get a copy here and get to reading and everything else. Again, she will be at the Historic Book Fair this Saturday. I'm telling you, it's a come and go event from 10 to 2, but the early bird gets the worms. There's going to be prizes, giveaways, little things, little
Golden opportunities.
golden opportunities. There we go. That's a good way to put it. So it might behoove you to get there closer to 10 and then hang around and come back at 2 or something. But the early bird's definitely getting the worm on some of this stuff. So, and then of course, and if you're in the market looking for rare books and things, selection's going to be better at 10 a.m. than at 2 o'clock. There's going to be more people picked through. So please come out and meet Eide here. Come talk about it. And I would imagine too, you might even run into a few aspiring authors or two want to pick your brain about how you got to where you're at now too. So I imagine you might field a few of those questions on Saturday too. I'm guessing.
Great inspiration.
And my answer is do your research.
Yeah.
And then they could start with some of the books that we have to offer, right?
Absolutely.
Perhaps.
So I got to ask before we got a couple minutes here, but I want to ask real quick before we let you go. What's next for you? What are you working on now? Or are you taking a break and getting ready for percolating the next thing?
I actually am working on a 5th book.
Okay.
And I actually hope to sell it to a television company to do a series that's quasi-crime related.
Okay. Well, and I think but here's the thing I like about your idea is we're in a market now where you're going to have, because with social media, not social media, streaming medias, outlets and platforms and things, there's a lot of places looking for content, for good content. So I imagine your goal here might be something that next thing you know, we're going to be seeing, on Netflix or something, Eide stories or some kind of whole thing there, I think that'd be great.
Exciting.
So, very cool. Well, congratulations on the books here. Thank you for supporting and being part of the Historical Society and being a part of our event here. We look forward to seeing you on Saturday. And folks, I invite you to come on out, meet Eide, get a copy of her book. She'll be happy to sign it for you, talk to you about it. And, of course, while you're there, come on and get you a mystery bag, get some swag there. There's always refreshments and treats and things around and special secret opportunities to win some stuff. And then don't forget, RoswellNMHistory.org is the link for the silent auction that's going on right now. If you want to get, I'm telling you, that beautiful Peter Hurd print we just saw a few minutes ago, especially since everybody else saw it, I got a feeling that's going to buy it up now before Tuesday as well. So
we've got a lot
quick.
of treasures. And what we haven't mentioned, Mike, remind everybody, we need loose change.
Yeah.
So that collect that change, you can bring it by any time, including today, next week, whenever, and we will even pick it up. So collect your loose change at home or at companies or anywhere, and that's another way you can help the Historical Society. And don't forget the archive facility. As we're holding the event in the archives, it is available for rent. So if you have a need of a party or some type of small-scale reception or something of that nature, you can literally get the food catered, bring it in, and we'll make life simple.
Make it happen. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I thank you very much for spending a few minutes with us.
You.
Appreciate that. Congratulations on on getting this book out, the series out, really, and working on the next one. When you next thing you know, when you're the next, who knows, Stephen King or who else out there, we remember us folks back here. So the next.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful
Have
day.
a great day.
And we'll talk to you again soon, okay?
Thank you very much. Bye.
All right,
Bye.
take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. All right, that was I. Thank you for that was a great interview. I like talking to
That was a lot of fun.
Well,
and
it's-
by the way, Gary, we know you're listening in California, and he said best ever today.
Oh.
So there you go. High five, Mike.
All right.
Thank you.
That's all right. And that means
Here.
I can just do bad next
See,
hour.
it's just a friendly reminder what we're doing is being heard all over.
Thanks.
We
I'm
live to celebrate history, talents, treasures, have fun, all of it.
Absolutely. Yeah,
And it
come
wouldn't
on
be
out.
possible without 106.5. Thank you,
Well,
thank you, thank
We're
you.
glad to help. We're glad to help. Again, RoswellNMHistory.org is the website. Get there and get
Please,
you.
we need your support.
I'm telling you, I got a feeling that Peter De La Fuente ain't going till Tuesday. I'm telling you right now, someone's gonna buy it now or something. Get your teeth into that one real quick before someone takes it from you. It ain't gonna last. I'm telling you right now, it just won't. All right, it is.